Hey, it's BT with the Valencia GP review. Let's get right to it. First of all, sorry it's late, but let me tell you something. You know I love GP more than life itself. I really do. And if I ever have any kids, my first kid's gonna be named MotoGP, and I mean that. It's gonna be, and the second kid's gonna be probably WSBK, and the third kid will probably be called Supercross, and that's the way it's gonna be. It's like GP, come here, WSBK. You're not as good as your brother, but come here. That's what I'm gonna call. That's what I'm gonna name my kids. But you know I live my life that way, but if you live in Europe, you are so damn lucky because these weeks are killing me. Look at my eyes. These weeks are killing me. I love it, but I'm looking forward to the break. A little break. I'm looking forward to the break. Anyway, let's get right to it. What a weekend! And I honestly, I'm gonna say this. I think the other two classes had a better overall races, but GP was great. But let's get right to the Moto 3. I'm gonna say it right now. I'm done with the guru. I'm done. You know, there comes a time when you just got to step up. And I know I don't know the backstory on guys or whatever, but you got to step up. And he has not really stepped up. But here's the thing about it. He's still only 8 points away without stepping up. If he wins in Portimao, if he wins and Arenas doesn't finish, oh my God. I mean, that's saving the best for last. But I just can't see it happening. And props to Tony Arbolino. That kid did what it took to win, and he won. That's why he's my ride of the race. Is Tiger Tony Arbolino. Like Steve Day said, if you don't like Tony Arbolino, something's wrong with you. That kid shows passion, and he did what he had to do to win the race. And at the very end, if you didn't see the interview with Simon Crafar, when he goes at the very end, he goes, "I'm so fucking proud of me." You can't help but love somebody who bets on himself and he wins. So good for Tony Arbolino. He's my rider of the race. Heartbreak of the race actually goes to Celestino Vietti when he crashed out early and his championship is over and he's going to Moto 2. No more VR46 in Moto 3. So it was their last chance and he didn't do it. And I wanted him to do it. But anyway, Moto 3 next week or this week, it's going to be great in Portimao. Winner take all in a track they haven't been to in a while. And I don't think some of those guys have ever raced that track, but it's been a while. So it's going to be great. Winner, I think it's pretty much winner take all, but Arenas has to get the podium and it's over, but still, you never know. Tony's coming. We'll see. It's going to be great. Move on to Moto 2. Moto 2, let me tell you something, man. People who don't give motorcycle racers credit, tell him to kiss my ass because, and I mean that, say, hey, there's a black guy that says kiss his ass. And I mean it because if you watch the crashes that Sam Lowe's and Alex Marquez had, oh my God. Alex Marquez, I hope somebody bought him a donut so he has to go to the bathroom because that's going to hurt. I'm sure he's taking a skateboard down to Portimao. Ain't no way in the world dude's sitting down for I don't know how many hours down to Portugal. His butt is still got to be hurting. And Sam Lowe's, oh my God. You see his hand, it's swollen. And that's what it comes to this. Sam Lowe's can still pull this out. If I was him, last race of the year, I would go to every NFL football team and say, give me all the drugs you got to numb this pain. What do you got to lose? What have you got to lose? Appeal the decision, do whatever. But his hand is he has two hands. It looks like a horror movie hand. If you go to his Instagram page, it looks like a horror movie hand. His hand is so swollen. But if I was him, go to any NFL football team, just drug me up. Go to them, go to the Rolling Stones. Say, hey, you got some old drugs from like the 60s and 70s. Go to Guns N' Roses. Hey, you got some old drugs from the 80s. Do what it takes to win. Sam Lowe's has my complete respect. He always did before, but especially now. Championship on the line. But I tell you what, I got to give the rider the race. I want to give it to Sam Lowe's for just he got points. He did what it took to get points. God bless him. And he was in pain. But I kind of got to give it to Hector Gartho. Hector Garth, man, that dude is not getting the credit he deserves. He did, as of now, he didn't have a ride for next year. He did what he had a decent outing in Moto E, and he came in just feet on the ground running, and look what he's doing in Moto 2. So great job, Hector Gartho. Jorge Martin, I take away from the greatness of Jorge Martin. Man, I kind of wish he was coming back one more year in Moto 2 so he could try to win the championship, and he kind of got screwed over, along with Tony Arbolino, with the COVID thing, especially Tony. Tiger Tony got screwed over in the COVID because he never tested positive COVID-19. But he was on an airplane with somebody who had COVID-19. It's like, come on, man. You know what? It's like when somebody commits a crime and you were there, but you didn't do it, but they group you into it. That's what it's like. So Tony got screwed, and Jorge Martin, he had COVID, so it's like, and it was his championship run was gone. But he's showing he really deserves to be in GP because the form he has is great. I'm looking forward to him just kicking ass in GP. So, but ride the race, In Moto 2, I gotta give it to Hector Gartho. I know Art, I'm gonna hear it from you. I love your Art, but I know you're going, are you serious? You know that so-and-so came up from 21st place and he got 14th. You're gonna give it to Hector Gartho. But Hector Gartho deserves it. But Sam Lowe's, my honorable mention, great ride by him. Like I said, his hand, he's got two hands. His hand's like two hands. Good luck for next week, Sam. It's gonna be great in Portimao. I'm gonna call Moto 2. I'm gonna call Moto 2 the rum races. You know how rum hits you late? You know, you're drinking rum and you go, this is pretty good. You 2 drinks in and you go, yeah, I'm good, I'm fine. And all of a sudden you're like, whoa, anybody got bail money? That's what Moto 2 is. Like the race, it gradually gets better. You're watching like, okay, it's kind of boring. Okay, it's a parade. All of a sudden it's like, oh, this shit's good. And that's what Moto 2 is. It's the rum races. It hits you late, but when it hits you, it's great. Heartbreak Moto 2, you gotta give it to Fabio Di Giannantonio. Last lap, he had the lead, he had the race in his hand, and he lost. You know what that's like? It's like that one girl you like so bad, and all of a sudden for one night, she's like, so what are you doing? You're like, huh? Hey, you wanna come back to my place? You're like, yeah. And everything's going great. I mean, it's just perfect. There's the music, the mood, and you're playing the right music, and your breath is good for some reason. And everything's wonderful, and you're just like, and it's all over. And she's like, really? And you're like, you're really pretty. That's what Fabio Di Giannantonio did, and I feel so bad for the guy. He was this close to getting his first anyway, you saw what it was. Anyway, Fabio, I love you. Hope he comes back, and hope he wins. Portimao's gonna be great for Moto 3 and Moto 2. It's going to be great racing. Bastianini's hanging on by a thread, but still, he's in the driver's seat. You got to give it up to Bezzecchi. Oh, he had that race. He could have been it now. He's going to need a miracle. He can still win it, but he's going to need pretty much all of those guys to crash out and for him to win. But you never know. New track for those guys. They're going, and this is uncharted territory, so it's going to be great. Anyway, let's move to MotoGP. The race for MotoGP, let's just get right to it. The race, everybody, Valencia didn't have really the greatest racing. It's a hard track to pass. But the race, that was one of the best races. And this is what I've been missing from GP. I said after my last review, I go, there's something missing about this year. And it's the battles. I miss battles. And the greatest thing about this race was the last lap, how Jack waited and he pounced on Morbidelli. Then Morbidelli came back and they duel that last lap duel was great. And I think the only other race that was better than this year than that race was in Austria when they all went wide, when Miller and Espargaro went wide and Miguel Oliveira won the race. That's what I've been missing from GP. I don't know about you guys, but I've been missing the battles. You know what I mean? For first it is, and the last lap battles. And it was great, it was clean, and I loved it. Great racing both guys. But I kind of miss when Marquez was there, because Marquez, it was never personal. It was just all business. He clanging to you. It was like a street fight. Come out, you got a swollen eye. You're missing a couple of teeth. Like Marquez. And that's what it was like. So I kind of miss that. That's what I miss about Mark being there. And let me tell you something. I'll get into that later. But great race by both those guys. Way to go for Morbidelli. That was his best race ever. Ride of the race goes to Franco Morbidelli. Heartbreak goes to Taka Naka. I had Taka in my fantasy league, and my fantasy pick, and I'm like, really, twice? I mean, the first time I understood the nerves got him, but this was well into the race, and he lost it. And I feel bad for him. And you see his crew was like, are you serious, bro? Are you serious? So I feel bad for Taka, but that's how it goes. And so ride of the race goes to Franco Morbidelli. Great last lap. Heartbreak goes to Taka Nakagami. And you're going to get to the champion, Johan Mir. Johan Mir deserves it. He was consistent. And, his freshman year, he was actually, no one talked about it. He was up for, he could have been Rookie of the Year. And then, like I said, he was a member of the space program in Brno. No one saw the crash, but they say his bike was still in the trees as of this time last year. It was a horrible crash. He was in the hospital, and no one really talked about it. He could have been Rookie of the Year. He was sneaky good last year, but this year, congrats to him. And I feel bad for Alex. Alex Ren is like the Jan Brady of MotoGP. It's like he was supposed to win. He was the darling of Suzuki. Now it's like everything's like Johan. I was good too. So I feel so bad because he's just like. He's good. He still could have, had the championship go on to Portimao, but he didn't. So a little bit of Alex Rins has to be feeling like, wow, they loved me first. And now it's Johan. And then Paulo Spargo goes, hey, I know what you mean, brother. Trust me on that. So I feel bad for those two guys. They're doing the best they can for their and Paulo Spargo. No one's talking about how great Paulo Spargo's doing right now on the podiums. And he's pushing KTM when he wants to get that victory for KTM in his last race before he leaves. But I think it's going to be Miguel Oliveira in Portimao. We don't know what's going to happen in Portimao, but it's got to be Miguel Oliveira going to Portugal. He knows that track. And he's been in good nick for the past couple races, so I kind of got to give it to Miguel Oliveira going into Portimao. But anyway, I hope Espargo does. I hope he wins because it's gonna eat at his heart if he doesn't. Bender won and Miguel Oliveira, and they don't really get along. So the guy you don't really like, he wins before you do, and he's like, ugh. So anyway, I hope Paulo Espargo wins in Portimao. Anyway. I thought the racing was good. It's kind of anticlimactic a little bit, like I said. And, they say Mark's going to go through third surgery. And I feel for the dude. I really do. I hope he gets well. I don't know if it's a rumor or if it's true, but I heard they're going to sue the doctor, sue Mr. Mir on a misdiagnosis. Man, I don't know. It's getting, I don't know. I hope he's going to be okay. But they say once the arm is operated on, it's always going to be there, that pain. So I don't know. I'm just going by the rumors that I heard. I don't know if they're true. So props to Mark and Alex. Oh my God. Like I said, he's probably still standing up. Get that kid a donut right now. I hope when he goes to the bathroom, he's going to feel that. So I thought it was good racing. I think I covered everything, I think. Now, I know it's late, so I'm just going to kind of do a little review. So thank you guys for watching. And I'm sure, Art, you're going to tell me who the rider of the race was for you. So I appreciate you guys watching. One more week. We can stay awake. Like I said, European people, you are so damn lucky. I'm doing bumps of cocaine. I'm doing Mountain Dew. I'm having kids hit me in the face to stay awake at these races, and it's killing me. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate that. BT with the MotoG review. Give me some comments or criticism. I don't care. Thanks for watching. One more week. Until then, you know the word. Bye.